What's up, guys? Welcome back to a very late live show. It's almost 1 a.m. Need to wake up in about 5.5 hours, but I'm gonna do a live show, a call-in live show. So everybody who wants to call in, you can call in by clicking the link, and I will bring you in. It's not gonna be a very long one, by the way, because like I said, I need to wake up in about 5 hours, and I'm actually pissed off. But if people want to call in, some texted me. You guys can call in. I will bring you in ASAP. So somebody's already calling in. Can you hear me? I think you're on mute. Whoever it is, I think you're on mute. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about the Cagliari game because it's we're hitting new lows right now. We're hitting new lows. I think lows we never would have, or I even myself would have imagined we would hit. And we are doing it in a very weird way as well because even today, I don't know, like I can still not believe that we were 2-0 down at halftime. I couldn't believe it, you know? That's, I want to say it's unacceptable, but that kind of speaks for himself. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, wait, give me one sec. Let me try to bring you in. Um, Owen, it is, right? You need to give me 1 second because I need to reshape the stream again really quickly. But while I'm doing that, I will speak on the game really quickly. We were 2-0 down because of our own fault again. There's no. I saw what I didn't like was post game Danilo talking about it was a pen. I don't want to hear that. Was it a pen? Yeah, like it was a pen, but we should have been down. Like we were losing because we were poor. That's why we were losing that game. That's the only reason we were losing. Not because we didn't get a pen. Like we don't like if we got the pen, good. But that's not been the issue for what is it now? 36 is it 13 games or like 12 games? Like not getting a pen is not really the issue right now. Uh, can you speak now, Owen? Really quickly? Yeah, people can hear you now. The only issue is I have no idea where the link has gone. But I think people can hear you. Let me know, people in the chat, if you can hear Owen speak. But what do you make of that game, Owen? Because um, I'm actually lost for words right now. I'm actually lost for words.
Pens, no pens. At the end of the day, you gotta take care of business, and when you're relying on referee decisions
Oh, excuse
to
me, really quickly. People, they're saying they're not hearing you, which is very strange because they should be hearing you. Let me give it one go.
hmm,
Can you say something now?
yeah.
Okay, they
Can
can
you all
hear
hear
you
me?
now. They can hear you now. You can go again.
Okay. Um, yeah, much of like what you just said. It feels like a low, and it feels like you're watching a low point just in slow motion over the course of 90 minutes, even when you come back to save a point, because you're saving a point that should never be in doubt, and the goal always has to be 3 points. I don't care if fifth place gets Champions League. Regardless, fifth place should never be the goal. Fourth place should never be the goal, and that if that's where truly where we are, where we're going to be satisfied with even fourth place. Like I get you're not going to win every year, especially when you are coming off of uh, financial issues, and but come on, man. It's tough to see. It's sad. I think the main specific points from the game that I was really thinking about and really wanted to bring up was what is going on with Locatelli? Like it's not working.
Yeah,
It's not working with Locatelli, and um it's just what I'm noticing is he's either being way too passive, trying to lay balls off to Rabiot, or I guess in this case Alcaraz, or his just balls forward just keep getting picked off. They keep getting intercepted, and for a deep lying playmaker, he's not making the plays, and I feel like way we're going to outside running through Cambiaso and in today's case Weah, uh, and of course that could also apply to Kostic when he's playing. Instead of trying to be able to go a little bit more up the middle, and it's got to be Locatelli who's got to facilitate that, and it's not happening right now. And I found myself being so frustrated with seeing Locatelli today, really over the last several weeks. And I was even talking on WhatsApp with it's like it's done, you know. It's just really frustrating. I don't know what your thoughts are on that situation.
um, it is frustrating. It really is frustrating. But the Locatelli one, he was poor today. He was poor. I agree, and people know what I think about Locatelli. However, there was a moment in the game where I wasn't even like I wasn't. I was just going through the motions, and I was looking at when Yildiz came on. He got double teamed, and he was fighting for his life, looking up and looking for somebody to make a movement so he can play that ball. We play with zero movement at all, and early on in the game, I'm like, do we do anything in training? Like, is like I don't see what we do in training. I don't see it. That's me. Like, it's very static. It's very basic, and people are calling in. I will bring you in a sec, but it needs to be time by time. Um, it's very basic. It's very static. It's always the same thing and same thing, and there's zero movement. Locatelli is struggling. He is. He is like technically that was shocking. Like that game from him was shocking. But people know what I think about Locatelli. What I do find very intriguing is that somehow, some way, Rabiot gets away with it in the media. He never gets subbed. He was poor to like he was like he's not on the pitch. You know, he's not on the pitch as well. Like it's not one
Yeah,
player,
yeah, I think that's totally fair to say as well that a lot of the things could apply to talking about Rabiot as well.
but it's not one. Like if it were just Locatelli and Chiesa, maybe two players out of 21, a squad of 21. I'm like, yeah, man. But I'm looking at this squad. I'm looking at these players. I'm like, they all look bad, but I struggle to believe, or like nobody can convince me they're that bad. All of them. Like there is a massive issue right now. Like these these players have checked out, which is not acceptable. By the way, I'm not saying, hey, you don't like to coach. I don't like to coach. Like for me, it could be very easy to say, I get it. The players, I would do the same thing. Like you cannot do that. You need to show respect to everybody, to Klopp, whatever. But they all checked out. I think that's very clear. They all checked out and they play like they have checked out. That's right now the issue.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. And you have to look at it holistically and just see that it's a lot of players that are just struggling, and we're not seeing the improvement. Like you said, we should be seeing things that are translating from whatever they're doing in training to the pitch, and we're not seeing that right now. And that goes to the coach and the players. And obviously, I can't just single out one player. It was just that, especially from today's game, it was Locatelli that I think really stuck out to me and to a lot of us is just um, really struggling in seeing that distribution not being there from him, because um, I was just watching, and maybe it was just me, but I was feeling like, there's like Chiesa and Weah trying to put in all these crosses, and I'm like, we shouldn't have to be doing that many crosses, guys.
You know what the sad part is? Towards the end, where we needed to put in the crosses, nobody was putting in those crosses. Like it was the
Yep.
reverse world, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like I don't like. I'm so lost. I'm so lost, and I think everybody is lost at this point. Like we're watching it, but nobody actually knows what they're watching. Like that's just a feeling. It's just 90 minutes of Juve. We watch because we're fans, and that's about it. You know, all confused, and that's how it's been going for like 12 games now, basically. That's it.
Yep. I know I probably you had the same reaction as soon as we went 2-0 down. I was, texting all the friends of mine like, that's it. We're not gonna come back and get a point from this game because who thinks we're gonna score 2 goals, right? We're not gonna score 2 goals. And one friend of mine who I was talking about the game with, it got to the end full time and it was 2-2, and he said, well, he went back to my WhatsApp message where I said, we're not gonna score 2 goals, and he said, well, you were technically correct.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that puts it in perspective. We scored 1 goal from a Vlahovic direct free kick goal, which was great. But, that's off a set piece and an own goal. So we from open play we created very little.
or created nothing. Like uh, it feels like a loss. Like even the point. Like I don't even like at this moment in time. I don't know what to do with that point. Like I've like it's a loss. It feels like a loss. And again, we can blame the players, but when you do not create chances against the poorest sides in the league, it's beyond players. Like it really is. You know, when you have poor sides creating more
Yep.
chances than us, there is a clear issue. You know, and if there's still people sitting there and ignoring that fact, then I need to question you're actually, how do you like passionate about this club. It's more about an agenda you don't want to give up right now. You know, I saw Celino talking about like the ex Brescia owner, whatever, talking in the media about Allegri saying he's a lying, and I don't know, he's a fighter. I will give him a 3-year deal. I'm like, this is the worst PR push ever. You know, it is. And coaching wise, this is one of the worst coaching jobs I've seen at this club. To put it in perspective, Ranieri, I need to lie about the season, but we were in the group stage with Real Madrid. Ranieri got sacked, topping the Champions League group, beating Real Madrid at home and away. He got sacked for the same kind of run of games. He got sacked, and it was at the start of the season when I said, what was it, like 3, 4, 5 weeks ago? I said, sack him. Now, I wasn't being dramatic. I was that serious because this has nothing to do about tactics. Play Yildiz, play Chiesa, play Vlahovic, play 3-4-3, play 3-4-1-2-1-7-8. It's not about that. This is about the mindset. These players are done. They're done. They're absolutely done, And I was like, change the coach. No matter who you bring in, they need a shock. They need a shock. That's all they need right now to get a couple of wins to secure what needs to be secured. That's it. And he is definitely not providing that shock, Allegri, right now. It's very clear. It's sad, and the club is just sitting there and basically looking at the other teams dropping points, like we are doing right now. That's what the club is doing. They're not looking at us winning. They're looking and praying the other teams drop more points. That's the reality of this club right now, and it's sad. It's
Yep.
it's really sad.
Yep. And that's exactly what we talked about when I came on, and we talked after a 0-0 at home. It is, and situation's still exactly the same, and we're still saying, oh, we can. Allegri was probably watching Atalanta beat Liverpool, just thinking, oh yeah, now I only have to aim for fifth and not fourth, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not right. It's not what this club is supposed to be. It's not what wearing this shirt is supposed to be. It's really sad to see. And I think that's just about all I have. So I do have some things I've got to take care of. So I'll let you get some
Yeah.
other fans on here to share their thoughts. But it's a pleasure to come on every time, man. And yeah, everybody listening, have a great rest of your weekend. And I just hope we turn this around, guys. Fino alla fine.
Thanks for calling in, man, Owen. And you're right, Bashar. It was at the end of the season. You're right. It was at the end of the season. I'm gonna unmute one guy, so you need to speak up and say who you are. The guy who I have unmuted now. No, I unmuted one guy, so you need to speak. Um, hello. I can hear you. Yeah, yeah. Wait. Uh, let me let me bring you in really quickly because there were two callers. Wait, can you speak now? Let me see if your sound is up.
Hello.
Yeah. Wait, there were two guys. I'm not sure who I found right now.
Um, Wait.
Yeah, you can speak. You talk about the game.
Okay.
You talk about the game
Okay.
because you wanted to call in. So,
All right. Okay. Okay. Sweet.
so you go. You go. You have your say.
I mean, basically, I'm furious. I'm really, 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 really pissed off. Because it's like this is a game that's proven to me that, like you said, the players have given up. The players have mentally checked out. And they've checked out for a while now. And also, a lot of these players are not good enough. Like, for example, Weah. For me, Weah's got to leave the club. Weah is not like what has Weah done this season? He scored one good
Nothing.
goal versus who was it? Salernitana in the Coppa, and he's done nothing else the rest of the season. And he had a good preseason, but it's not just Weah either. Locatelli was awful. The approach to the game from Allegri was awful. And today is just evident to me that we just need to hit the reset button from coach to players, everyone. I'm done. I'm finished. And you can probably hear it from the way I'm speaking, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of this season. I'm exhausted of these players. I'm exhausted of this coach. I'm exhausted about the way we're playing. Because how can you play like this versus a team like Cagliari, who are in relegation zone? It's not good enough. It's unacceptable. I'm really tired of it. And Coppa Italia is not enough to save this season. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not enough. It's not enough for a club like Juventus. It's not enough.
It's not.
So for me, we just have to hit the reset button.
You said
from top to bottom. We have to. Sorry, go on.
I agree, but you said like how can you approach that game like this? I think he explained how in the presser. He said we kind of need to play down to the level of Cagliari in these type of games. And when I heard that, I was like, no way you said that. Like I refuse to believe you said that. And actually, I was at work. I was actually working. I just had the presser with my earpiece. You know, while I was working, I was like, I misunderstood that. You know, let me rewind it afterwards on my break, on my lunch break, and he said it, and I was like, that's actually very disrespectful. I'm sorry. Like you cannot say these things, and you have people, not even the fans, like in the media, enabling this, saying, "Yeah, man, it's a relegation fight. It's a dog fight. It's a scrap. You need to play down to their level." No, we do not. Like you do not need to do that. We do that, and in my preview, or I was live with Alberto, I said it the same thing, the same way. When he says things of like, I need to keep Yildiz on the bench because I need to change the game late. No. Impact the game from the beginning. Worry about the end of the game later on. He thinks about, we might not be winning this game late. I need to change it. Like the mindset we go into games, it's poor. But the mindset he is transmitting to these players now is that what he said in the presser, we need to play down to his level. The players listen. they did exactly what he asked them to do. Only Cagliari stepped it up a level. Like that was a difference. They caught us, and we got, like, it was 2-0 at halftime. I was baffled. Like, I know the standards are low, my expectations are low, But I was sitting there and I was like, wow. Like, actually, wow. Like, I had no emotions. I was like, wow, this is an all-timer right now. This is.
I wish I was like you. I wish I was like you and just had no emotions. I was furious at halftime. I was really, 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 really annoyed. I wish I could be like you and just watch the games with no emotions, but genuinely, like performances like that,
When we scored,
it just really get to me, really annoy me.
when that Vlahovic goal happened, did anyone really jump up and be like, yeah? I wouldn't just through the motions. I was like, yeah. Like, yeah. And then we got the own goal, and actually I was a bit pissed. I was like, no way you're doing this right now. Like, no way you are getting a result out of this game, because that was that was daylight robbery. Like,
it would have been a robbery if we'd have won that game, because
that yield deflection went in. That was an all-time robbery.
Yeah, and also like I see people, or sorry, at halftime I saw people on Twitter saying, "Oh, it should have been a penalty," and I'm like, "Hold on a second. Okay, maybe it was a penalty, but we deserved it. We deserved to be down 3-0.
Yeah.
What did we deserve from that game? We didn't deserve anything from that game. So people, and I see people saying it after the game as well. Oh, the penalty. Oh, we would have won. No, man, we were awful. We deserved to lose that game. We were lucky. And like he said, it wasn't a robbery to get anything. I mean, it was a robbery. The fact that we got a draw from the game is robbery. We didn't deserve anything from that game. We really didn't. We were awful.
You're right.
And Vlahovic, for me, was the only good player in that game. He was the only performer in that game. The only player who looked like he wanted to fight that game. Everyone else completely useless. Allegri, get him out. I'm done with Allegri, and I've been done for quite a while now. Get him out. Get him out.
Oh my god,
I'm done. Just end the season. End the season. I'm tired.
We had so many battles in the chat months ago about this. But the Danilo thing, the Alcaraz thing, the pen. You know, that's why I get on Danilo's case as well. That's the first thing he says in front of the camera. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. We have 12 points out of 36. I don't want to hear about a Alcaraz pen. That's not the talking point right now.
Yeah,
that's not
it's disgraceful.
The focus gets shifted. That's what, when we won games, I'm like, this is not good enough. Focus on the big picture. And people are like, no, one game at a time. Oh, this is a pen. Forget about the last 10 weeks. I'm like, you cannot do that. If you do that, that's the reason we're in this situation right now. We are in this situation for that reason. A few weeks ago when I said, sack him, I don't know which game it was that we messed up. I'm like, sack it. And people are like, who are you going to get? Montero. I'm like, I don't care. This is not about tactics right now. This is about these players looking at Allegri and being like, no, not doing this. No reaction out of this team. Nothing. And I agree, we need to overhaul the squad. I agree. But I'm sorry, I cannot name 3 players out of that Cagliari squad. I know Nandes because we've linked with him. 4, Pavoletti, Lapadula, and actually I'm lying. I cannot pronounce the striker's name. I can't. You know, like, I'm sorry. You know, if anyone really thinks these players are better than the players we have, you're crazy. You're actually crazy right now.
I mean, the fact of the matter is they wanted it more. They wanted it more, and that's the simple fact. They wanted it more than us today. They wanted it, we didn't. This is quite as simple as that. And like I said, I've repeated this many times, but we've given up, and that's why I want the season to end. Because we have given up. We've mentally checked out for months now. We've given up since the which game was it? After the Inter game where we were like 1 point.
We played, I think, was it Udinese or Verona? I think
it was one of those games. Since then we've given up. Since then we've given up. We don't want to play.
But
to be honest, that does come down to the coach as well.
That's what I want to say. That's something the coach needs to oversee, because if it's 1 or 2 players, you can change. But if it's an entire squad, basically at this point, you know, it's cold. Like, when I talked about coaching, I agreed that players are not good enough. But come on, like, at one point everybody was shitting on Miretti, and look at us now. Now Locatelli is not good enough. Rabiot, Alcaraz is they're all rubbish. Like, they're all. Rubbish.
In all fairness, this is just my opinion. You probably will disagree, but I do think a lot of these players are really, really poor. Miretti, I think, does need a loan.
Are they worse than the Cagliari
midfield? A lot of these players are not good enough. And Locatelli, I think, even with a new coach, I think he's a player that's good, but he's not. He's too inconsistent. So I think a lot of these players, as much as the coach does need to go, a lot of these we need an overhaul.
I agree with that.
From top to bottom, from coach to players, everyone.
I agree. I agree, and people know what I think about Locatelli. Like I've been saying this certain things since years, like last year's, and people were coming for me, But are these players worse than Verona's midfield, Udinese's midfield?
That's the point.
That's my problem. That's my issue. Like, you need to coach around it a little bit. Like they're not this poor. Like I refuse to admit that. I accept that the squad overall is not good enough. But when I talk about overall not good enough, I'm talking about competing. I'm not talking about struggling against Cagliari and all those teams. Like, then I'm talking about coaching right there. Because Yildiz came on, and I felt sorry for him. Like, he was fighting for his life to shrug off Cagliari.
Yeah,
players.
he's got two, man. He got doubled up. He couldn't really do anything.
And
there's not really much he could do.
At one point towards the end, he was pissed, and I don't know who it was. Was it Vlahovic? He was calming him down because he was yelling. He was like, "Somebody close in, help me out. You play me that ball deep, fine. I deal with a player or two. After I dealt with him, there's nobody left to play that ball backward. Like, there's nothing." Yeah. And he was pissed, and Vlahovic needed to calm him down because it happened 3, 4, 5 times, and he was just getting smarter out there. It was just left out to die. And I was like, that's also a thing that comes coaching, because when he came on, without a lie, I've heard Allegri yell at least 10 times, dropping deep, dropping deep, dropping deep, dropping deep.
Yeah, no, I saw that as well. I saw that.
I'm like, come on, like Lazio Cagliari is sitting so deep. Is that really needed? Is that really needed right now? Like, you're kind of wasting him even more, And then we're putting him crosses, and the last 5 minutes when we needed to put in crosses, we refused to put in a cross. I'm like it's the reverse world with this team every single time. And there's 5 games left in the league for us. I think 5, 6 for the others.
It's 5 now, yeah.
7 for Atalanta and 7 for Roma, or like 15 minutes for Roma, 6 and 15 minutes. We're in big trouble. I'm not pushing it. We are in big trouble. I know Roma play Bologna on Monday, excuse me. Atalanta need to go away to Monza, but we need to play Roma. We need to play Milan, Bologna. We're gonna lose those games. Like, I'm serious. We cannot beat Cagliari. We are gonna lose these games. We are in massive trouble right now. We are, because this team, like you said early on, they checked out. The only positive is there's a Coppa Italia game, and for some reason,
I don't care about the Coppa Italia. I don't care about the Coppa
Italia. I don't care about the
like...
Coppa. Like, for the future of the club, I need that Champions League money for the future of the club. We need it.
We're gonna get Champions League because it's top 5 now. I don't see us not getting Champions League, to be honest.
Do I need to?
I might be jinxing it, but seriously, I don't see a way in which we screw this up. Honestly, if we genuinely screw this up, I've said this. I agree. Like, something needs to happen to this guy. Like, I don't wish bad on anyone, but seriously, because how many points were we ahead of like top 4? We were like 12 points clear or something.
More, because Roma made up more points.
Exactly. So how we've even gotten to this position is actually really disgraceful. Okay, and on top of that, the fact that we only play 1 game a week, it's just, I don't know how we've gotten to this position, really.
You said, I don't see us how we messed that up. And the next caller, I'll bring you in a sec. I will lay you out. Like, I will explain how. We have 12 points out of 36. That's
like relegation.
That's how we are we are gonna mess it up. That's it. We cannot win games. We won, what is it, like 6 draws, 2 wins, I think it was, and 4 losses. That's, if we have 5 games right now, and you win 2 and you lose 2 and you draw 1, you're out. If the other teams do what they need to do, you're out. Like, we play, our next game is in the league is Milan. It's Milan at home.
Yeah, it's Milan.
There's no chance we're gonna win that game. I'm sorry. Like, there's no chance on this. Like, at this moment in time, even Sanitana at home, I'm like, we can mess it up. We really can mess it up. Yeah. We will find a way to mess it up. That's who we are right now, and it's unbelievable. And I want to say it's frustrating. It's not really frustrating. It's just unbelievable. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
it's,
baffled.
I'm in disbelief as well. To be honest, we've even got to this point. Really, it's I'm speechless. I've got no words because to be in this position from where we were, it's just I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And like I said, I still think we will get Champions League. We surely, right? Surely. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm pretty bad at jinxing, but surely we will get Champions League next season. Because if we don't, then yeah, it's because if we do not get Champions League, we are going to be Man United for the next, or we are going to be the next Man United or Arsenal if we do not get Champions League. I'm sorry.
If we do not get Champions League,
Yeah, we're finished. We are finished if we do not get Champions League. We're over. We're finished if we don't get Champions
if we
League.
do not
It's
get
over.
Champions League, I will be the biggest hypocrite and will say Conte in. That's the only way you can make up for it. Basically, that's the
No,
only
no,
way.
no, not even that. If we don't get Champions League, no overreaction. We're finished. We're done. We're not coming back from that. It's over if we don't get Champions League.
We're set up to, like if we don't get Champions League, it's set up to fail, big time. You know, it is, and it's. I know you're like, surely we're gonna get it. I look at
Yeah, I mean, surely we will, but
I don't see it. I don't.
I don't
see it.
want to. I don't want to say it because
You need to kind of accept it right now that the path we're on, like literally, like the points we're on screams you're gonna drop out of it. You're literally like the only thing that can really save us right now is one of those teams winning the Europa League and not finishing in the top four. Like that's like that's the level we're on. Like we cannot be Cagliari. We have Milan next. We have Roma away. Like we have Milan at home, Roma away. We can lose those games back to back, and nobody will be surprised. Nobody will be surprised if we lose to Milan and Roma. So it is a worry. But last question for you, really quickly before I'll bring the next one up. The the Chiesa debate, you know, because even today, you know, he didn't have the best of games. He won the free kick. If it was a free kick, we can debate. You know, I didn't even really saw the replay, to be honest. But the Chiesa debate is a big one because he is kind of the symbol of disconnect between coach and players. If I'm being like that, he symbolizes it right now. What do you make of that? Like really quickly, like do you want him to say? Do we need to move him on? And or are you like the players who have this type of mindset, you know, and kind of I don't know, like just throw in the towel, basically have that feeling? They need to be weeded out.
yeah. No, listen. To be honest with Chiesa, like I don't know, it's a really weird one because I love the guy. I love Chiesa, but at the same time, I think this is the last summer that we can get like good value out of Chiesa. And to be honest, I'm like Chiesa really did piss me off today. Like he was poor today, but it's not even the fact that he was poor. He was poor, and he was blaming the referee. He was moaning at the referee. And it wasn't just him; it was Gattuso. But stick to Chiesa, since this is a topic. He was complaining at the referee the entire game. I'm like, no, don't blame the referee. You were just poor. It's quite simple. And he's been poor the entire season, and I think the ACL had a big impact on him. I really do. Like even though he had a good start to the season, I think the ACL kind of ruined it. And to be honest, I think I will wait until the Euros because I think if he has a good Euros, I'd keep him. But if he has a poor Euros, I don't know. I think this is the last chance we can really get some good value out of Chiesa because he's going to be turning 27 in a couple of months, I think.
Yeah,
he's going to be turning 27 in a couple of months. So as much as I love Chiesa, I don't know. Would I be happy if he said yes? But would I be like? Let me just put it this way: he's replaceable. He's easily replaceable. I know he's Mr. Juventus and he loves Juventus and everything, but he is replaceable, in my opinion.
Okay. I think a lot of players are replaceable. It's just do we have the money? That's my concern. But thanks for calling in. I did the live for you, so good thing you showed up. Good thing you showed up.
No, thank you for letting me vent and rant.
Yeah, no problem. Otherwise, it's just me venting and ranting.
Yeah, no. Anyway, good luck for the rest of the show. And
thanks, man.
Thank you.
See ya. Ciao.
All right, take
care. Last caller on us, right? Can you hear me? Wait, let me. Can you say something?
Hello.
Yeah, people can hear you. You have a good, solid 10 minutes to rant, and then I just need to go to bed because I need to wake up in about 5 hours. Um, you go. The floor is yours. You can talk about what you saw today or didn't see.
Well, my weekend is ruined. That's the first thing. Uh, Many people obviously their weekends are ruined after this game. And I mean, there's nothing really to say about the game. Like, it's always the same thing again and again. And the last, like you said, we got only 12 points out of a possible 36. And like from the, I think like an hour before the game, like I said, yeah, we're not winning it. Like, we're either gonna lose or draw. Like, I predicted a loss even when I was speaking with my friends. And we almost did that, and we robbed Cagliari of a win by luck. Like, I didn't even celebrate the goals. Like, I was like, yeah, I mean, we just scored, and I just hoped, prayed that maybe we can get a lucky third if it's because it's Allegri's luck, but we couldn't, and it's still a shameful result as always. And there's no real players out there. Like, no player want to act up, and Allegri doesn't want to act up too. Like after the game, saying we couldn't match the intensity of
Yeah.
Cagliari in the first half, and also saying that like it's a good result. Like you got a good result out of this game. Like I
You know,
don't know
his
how he
comments,
views.
like really quick, like his comments actually reflect the team right now. Like they do. Like, and it could not be clear. Pre-game, presser, post-game, and in between the game, it just reflects how Allegri speaks right now. I'm just envisioning him speaking like this to the team, saying we need to play down to
Hundred
Cagliari's level,
percent.
and the worrying part is there's still part of a fan base saying that, yeah, that's a good quote, basically, because Cagliari are in a dogfight, we should be matching that. I'm like, no, like, maybe I'm just being, maybe I have an agenda, but I cannot recall any Juve coach ever come out and say we need to match a relegation side's level, otherwise we're not gonna win. That's crazy. That's just crazy
It
to me.
it is crazy. Like even like I said in the first half, like there was nothing in the game. Like we obviously it's two penalties we conceded, but it's still rubbish. Like we didn't deserve to get anything from this game, especially even a point. And like you said, I know about Tuesday. Like it's gonna be a. I think Lazio will. I'm 100% sure that Lazio are gonna have a comeback against us and turn it around. But hopefully not, because it's a 2-0 lead. But you never know. Like what we've seen today, it could go very bad on Tuesday, and at
It
least
could
I'm mentally prepared for it.
it could go bad. And Imam, excuse me, is saying, to be fair, he didn't say we had a good game, although I was expecting him to say that. He said the second half we show fight, and that's what the fans want to see. That second half, I'm like, not me, man. Like you're not talking to me. I don't know. Like the fans who want to see that, we need to check if they are real or if they're not AI generated on social media. I'm sorry, because you cannot convince me there are real persons sitting at home in front of their TV in that second half and be like, "That's Juve I want to see." I'm like, like, no, like nobody wants to see that. Like, I'm sorry, like not even Cagliari fans who were winning the game at the point wanted to see that type of Juve, in my opinion. I think they were sitting there and like, what's that? Like, what are we actually watching right here? Like, it's already bad enough we need to watch Cagliari play like this for years. Now we need to watch Juve come to town and just match the crap we put out there. Like, he's losing it. Like, he's absolutely losing it. And to top it off, he's like, somebody asked him, is top four the goal? And he was like, Champions League is the goal. I'm like, you mother, you know what? Like, it's unbelievable. A year ago, like literally a year ago, we lost to Napoli. I walked out of that stadium, grabbed something to eat. He was speaking on Sky. It was on TV. It was like, next season, we're going to be closer competing for the title. Then it was second place is an improvement. Then it was top four, Champions League. Now it's like
Now it's
Champions
5.
League. And it could be top
Top
6 at
5
this
now.
point. You know, if Roma win the Champions League, don't finish, like, it's crazy. Like, it's
You mean the
absolutely...
Europa League?
If they win the Europa League, excuse me, yeah. Like, it's unbelievable that he's getting away with it. Like, he's getting away with it. I'm like, fair play. Like, actually fair play. You're getting away with one of the worst coaching jobs I've seen at Juve at 9 mil a season and zero responsibility. Like, literally zero responsibility.
Like even if you are talking about Allegri saying to Yildiz in the match, like go deep,
Yeah.
return deeper. I remember what minute was it? Like I saw Yildiz uh, having the ball at like left back position and just
It was
passing
working,
it to
yeah.
the other. Like I don't know what this guy has on in his head. Like what he's thinking every single morning before the match. Like yes, we're gonna have these normal subs. We're gonna do this exact technique, and if it didn't tackle and if it doesn't work well, it is what it is. Like you can't complain about it.
That's
Overall,
that's basically it. Like, that's it, you know. If somebody needs to tell me, like, all the tacticals out there, you know, and it's not a dig, by the way, because I'm not one of them. I cannot dissect the game like those people. Show me the patterns we have out there. Like, show me something we try to do that's consistent. I'm actually very curious right now. Like, I
it's
really
just
am.
individual. Like I can just say it in a simple way. Just individual performance and cross and hope for the best, or a mistake by the opposition. That's how we play basically. And if it didn't work, well, uh, we're not gonna get a result out of any game.
Yeah, that's it. Um, I will ask you a last question. I will give you more time in the next call and show. Apologies, but I actually need
And
to
it's
wake up.
okay.
And
Yeah, it's okay.
we play
You
Lazio.
don't need to speak a lot. Like it doesn't deserve to speak a lot about this game. But go on, you can ask the
Yeah,
question.
but we have Lazio on Tuesday, and we have, I think, Milan on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, or Sunday. I'm not even sure right now. They play on Monday, so I'm assuming it's on. I hope it's on Sunday. I don't hope it. I haven't checked, if I'm being completely honest. But we have Lazio, and then we have Milan. What do you think? Like, what do you think we will get out of those games? Because yeah, they're big games.
Yeah, I mean, after all, also after Milan, it's Roma. So there are 3 big games coming up. With Lazio, like I said, I predict that we're gonna go out unless something Lazio shitting it out. Like seriously, that's the only way we qualify to the final. Against Milan, like Milan aren't also in the best form at the moment, but I think they're that bad to not beat us. Like some people try to convince me that Milan couldn't beat us, but come on, man! Like you saw the performance out there. So I predict 2 L's basically against Lazio and Milan. Like I really can't, unless if, like I said, hopefully against Lazio we just, I mean, at least Allegri can play his tactics now and just defend for
So
90
yeah,
minutes. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get out of any results. So yeah, that's basically it.
oh, that's fun. That's fun to look forward to this next week. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
fun week.
the week is ruined, so it's
Yeah, the
just
weekend is
Lazio
messed up.
coming up.
Like, it's messed up. It really is. Like, the only good news is it's one step closer towards the end of the season. Only 6 games left, maybe 7, and we're done. We're done. Even if we don't make Champions League, I'll be like, whatever. Like, I'm done. It's over. But thanks for
We're
calling
cooked.
in. I will give you more time next time. You know, I will keep that in
Sure.
mind. Um, people in the chat, thanks for joining. If you haven't liked the video, like the video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you rewatch. Like as well. I will not be live tomorrow. The breakdown or the post game will be moved to Sunday because I'm out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that as well. But there will be a video out. So show some love for that video. And yeah, I'll see you guys later on. Ciao.